Well, whether you know or not, you're all set because we're going.
That's a frightening headline. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, we're in mailbag. Ding, ding, ding.
6 nuclear weapons the U.S. military lost and has never found.
I've read those. And I think we've been alive for all 6 of them.
Have we?
Yes.
February 13th, 1950.
Yeah, we were alive for that. We just weren't here.
You're an idiot. The oldest missing American nuke was lost back in 1950. It happened during a training mission.
What, were they practicing how to lose nuclear munitions?
They had a live nuke on a training mission. An Air Force B-36 Peacemaker bomber was practicing. I love the name.
Mm-hmm.
How to conduct a nuclear strike.
It's like a daisy cutter bomb.
However, on its way from Alaska to Texas, the plane's engines malfunctioned over the Pacific Ocean and not want to deal with the backlash of a nuclear bomber maybe crashing into American soil. The brass had the flight crew dump their payload into the ocean. So somewhere there off the coast is a
over the rainbow
nuke.
Yeah.
Wonder what kind of shape it's in, because I've seen this before.
I think they're usually round and longish.
What was the movie where somebody found an old nuke from the
Crimean War?
No.
Oh.
Was it 73 and between Egypt and
that one. Yeah.
Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was one of the Ben Affleck played Jack Ryan movies. March 10th, 1956. We're still not alive.
Yes, we are. We're just not here.
A B-47 strategic bomber was journeying from MacDill Air Force Base in Florida to Morocco. It had 2 Mark 15 nukes.
MacDill to Morocco.
Neither the plane nor bombs ever arrived in Morocco, and no one has figured out what happened. Well, that's not good.
Maybe they got some sour cream for that dill and just chowed down on, some potatoes.
By the way, bombs didn't actually have their core, so they couldn't make Big Boom with Mushroom Cloud.
Okay, good. That's good.
Well, that's what they said. And in 1966, congressional testimony revealed, nope, they were ready. February 5th, 1958, we're almost here. Don't say it. Another B-47 carrying another Mark 15 was performing a training mission around Savannah, Georgia, when it had a midair collision with a F-86 Sabre.
Ooh.
Oh, see now the cool thing
bad.
about airplanes are the Sabre fighter is going to be noticeably smaller than the B-47.
Mm-hmm. And what with inertia and all.
Doesn't matter.
Nope.
Everybody loses. The fighter went down in flames. The bomber did stay in the air. Surprised me. However, it was very damaged and made it difficult to land. So after multiple failed attempts to get the plane on the ground, the crew was told to drop the nuke to prevent it from exploding in a controlled crash landing. However, the crew said they couldn't make it to Washington, D.C., so they just drop it in the Wassaw Sound.
Warsaw?
Wausau. W-A-S-S-A-W, Wausau.
Warsaw.
Stop it.
For every Wisconsinite out there.
Here you go. January 24th, 1961, preparing for Robin's appearance on the Earth.
We were there.
Yes, we was. We know where the bomb is.
It's
in the vaguest possible sense. B-52 taken off from Goldsboro, North Carolina. 2 nukes on board, crashed right after takeoff. One of the bombs fell out. Wow, might want to secure those better. Nuke ended up in a batch of swampland near the Air Force Base, and despite an exhaustive search, so they scoured the swamp 50 feet deep.
Oh, my.
Somewhere there's a gator with a bad bellyache.
Yeah, they should have used more bungee cords.
You think?
Yeah. That way when it crashes,
cords.
You hear a lot of boy.
December 65, A-4E Skyhawk waiting to take off from the deck of the USS Ticonderoga, which is my favorite name to say.
Ticonderoga really just rolls out of your mouth. It's fantastic.
I don't care if it was Fort Ticonderoga in the Revolutionary War or the USS, just Ticonderoga.
Yes.
If I ever am a Starfleet captain, I want to captain the Ticonderoga.
You want to know what Ticonderoga actually means?
I bet I don't, but okay.
You can't get potato salad a la
A la
carte.
carte. Then the plane rolled off the deck into the sea and sank, taking pilot and bomb with it. I feel bad about the pilot. Navy never found the nuke
Or the pilot, apparently.
and actually didn't even mention anything about it until 1980.
Oh,
And even then, they claimed it happened in the middle of the ocean,
wowzers.
which is close. It was, you know, there was ocean.
There was water nearby.
Yep. 1968, May, submarine USS Scorpion on its way to observe Soviet naval activity, because we did that back in those
Yep.
days. Oh, let's be honest, we still do. So
You know,
did
how
they.
did we get close enough to look at their navels?
On board the vessel were two 250 kiloton nuclear weapons. At
Good
some
Lord, man,
point-
that's overkill.
well, you never know.
Navels aren't all that big.
At at some point betwixt May 21 and 27 of 1968, the USS Scorpion vanished. I don't think they know yet.
Is it a ghost ship somewhere?
It's just, it went down in the Azores, southwest of the Azores, at a depth of 9,800 feet. And,
And then where nobody's going after that.
well, they did.
They
Nothing.
yeah.
The USS Scorpion sinking one of 4 submarine accidents in 1968, which makes you wonder why anyone ever wanted to be a submariner.
Yeah.
You know,
Why do
except
you
for-
get in a boat
Except for Prince Namor, who is the submariner. So.
You never get in a boat that sinks on purpose.
See, it's kind of like jumping out of a perfectly good plane. There are things that are just not right.
No, this is part of God's law. I think people need to understand it. Are you happy?
I am borderline giddy.
Nice. So, friend of mine, Facebook friend of mine, Todd Mitchell, who does radio up in
A place.
South Dakota, North Dakota.
That would be down in.
He's either in Nodak or Sodak. I can't remember.
He's in the
right now.
Dakotas.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. And he posted
How
this.
nice is he if he's in the Dakotas? Actually, that's not true. I know some very nice people in North Dakota.
So nice, they named it twice.
Dakota.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they named
Now-
South Carolina and North Carolina.
same thing. And I know people in.
How come it's not East and West Virginia then?
It's just Virginia and West Virginia.
See? Why isn't there East and West Virginia? We
Because
have
they
North
had
and
no
South.
plans for West Virginia when they started Virginia.
Well, apparently they were wrong, weren't they?
Here is a from an ASDA supermarket.
They have those?
ASDA? Oh, you bet, over in England. And
Across the pond?
it's just emblazoned across the product. Are you sitting down?
I hope so.
Plant
If I'm standing up right now, we got other problems.
plant-based mashed potato. This is why Tesco is just beating the crap out of them. You know that. That was exactly my response.
I have to ask, is there another kind?
No, maybe.
Because right now there are folks who make vodka going, is there another kind?
Yeah, there's another kind. Glycol based mashed
Potatoes.
potato. Blah, blah. So,
Wait, I got one.
oh, you
I'm
got
sorry,
one?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead because I'll do my last one last.
I just have a headline.
Okay.
And an explanation, apparently, of.
Well, this ought to be good.
I know I'm old
Yes, you are.
because I'm apparently having an. Hang on. Camera didn't make it to rehearsal.
Yeah.
Where was I now?
You're at your house.
Oh, I have something to hang up on the wall that's new that you'll find very cool. A 200 headline, 200-year-old condom decorated with erotic art goes on display in Amsterdam's Rijksmuseum.
First thing that comes to mind is if they're going to bother to decorate it, this isn't a one-use item.
And who the hell's erotic art?
Garfunkel. He was so sexy.
Sounds like a really bad nickname. Right. The museum said in a statement that the Playful Prophylactic.
So we're going to anthropomorphize.
Oh, hang on.
Condom.
Hang on. Not only is it a playful prophylactic, but it's believed to have been made in 1830 from a sheep's appendix. The museum says it depicts both the playful and the serious side of sexual health, although I'm having a hard time with the serious side part.
Well, the serious side is the sheep didn't like it very much.
I'm guessing leave my appendix alone, damn it. Yes, it's part of an exhibition.
I don't care if you're horny.
Safe sex? Honest, it's a big question mark.
Oh,
about 19th century sex work that opened on Tuesday.
Hang
on. The condom is possibly a souvenir from a brothel decorated with an erotic image of a nun and 3 clergymen, and I apologize.
Wow. Why do they pick on the church so much?
Well,
church can be kind of parochial, I suppose.
It's somewhere in the Bible there about...
yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on which part of the Bible you're in.
No, most any part mentions that they're not going to like us much.
Oh, that. Yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what bothers me? When someone watch the next basketball game,
yep.
When they go up to the free throw line, see how many times they bounce it. 3 is the perfect number.
And when they do
it's
it
like
more,
practice golf swings. 3. First one's warm up. Second one's the good one. Third one goes, I should have hit the second one. Shoot, I should have hit the second one.
Fourth one goes left into the trees.
Yeah, that's when the ball's actually there, which is annoying.
Okay. So you got more to go. You were telling us all about your new condom.
No, I'm done with the condom.
Oh, okay. So
This was something else that was very important. Obvious.
It's right there on the tip of your tongue. Stick it out. So
no, it's not even in the back of my brain anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's got up and left.
So we got a note from Ronnie Tucker this week.
Mr. Tucker.
Okay, so 1904 isn't exactly yesterday, but it's funny. Now, I'm going to have to edit this because of the way it's written, and we generally don't use...
Is it in the Queen's English?
If the Queen's a sailor,
actually, 1904.
Sure.
Is it in the King's English?
Maybe.
Wait a minute, 1904?
Yeah, this is from 1904.
When did Queen Victoria... Was it 1901, I hope?
Oh, you would know better than I.
I'm hoping that she's,
So
I think Albert was already in there by then.
This is from a guy named... so Prince Albert was no longer in the can.
From what I've heard, he was in the can a lot.
So this is from some guy
named... drink so much before your stomach goes, no!
Weaver-Z. If you have ever, and I mean ever, think that you screwed something up royally, remember that the organizers of the 1904 Olympic Marathon,
yeah,
at zero,
that would be the Olympic Marathon in 1904?
0 stations for water in the 26-mile course.
Well then.
Accidentally gave North American competitor Tom Hicks a cocktail.
Shaken or stirred?
No, made of egg whites, brandy, and actual rat poison. Wait for it. Had a guy come into the race late wearing a beret and cut-off slacks, sneak into an apple orchard during the race because no food had been given to him for 40 hours, eat rotten apples, projectile vomit onto the track, fall asleep for hours, and finish in 4th place overall because most of the other runners collapsed of exhaustion or injuries.
Did Rosie Ruiz win?
No. Conducted the race on a dusty road.
Google that if I'm right. It's actually funny. If I'm wrong, it's just stupid.
Conducted the race on a dusty road, which caused so much dust to be kicked up into the air that an American runner somehow inhaled enough to tear his stomach lining open. Actually released feral dogs onto the track. Messed other competitors up so badly that Tom Hicks... That's somebody we know.
I knew he was old, but...
The guy who ate the rat poison was hallucinating the entire run
You think?
and came in first place.
He also wiggled his nose a lot later on and ate really garbage food.
It was something odd. The race was run during the hottest part of the day on dusty country roads with minimal water supply, while 32 athletes coming from 7 nations, the United States, France, Cuba, Greece, the Orange River Colony, Great Britain, and Canada, competed, period. Only 14 managed to complete the race, which was a bizarre affair due to poor organization and officiating. While Frederick Lors was greeted as the apparent winner, he was later disqualified as he had hitched a ride in a car for part of the race. Now, we've covered that story before. I have never heard these other things, and him jumping into a car is the least interesting of the bunch.
Ain't it though?
The actual winner, Thomas Hicks, was near collapse and hallucinating by the end of the race, a side effect of being administered brandy, raw eggs, and strychnine. The 4th place.
That is, I'm pretty sure, I could Google, I suppose, but I'm going to go on a limb here and say there's no athlete I know that uses that as their recovery cocktail.
The 4th place finisher, Darren Carvajal, took a nap during the race after eating the spoiled apples. He came in 4th. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ronnie. Wow. That's the most interesting version of that story I've ever seen.
See, once again, people should not be running if no one's chasing you.
Just another reason. Yeah. Another of our
and I was right,
58
by the way.
Reasons why you should never run.
Rosie Ruiz was the lady that everyone thought won the Boston Marathon.
Yep.
Except that they figure she probably just hopped on the course about a half mile before the finish.
Oh, and ran in. Yep.
Took them 8 days, but that was like, who was the other one? There was somebody that started the race and then won the race, but apparently took a car ride through a large chunk of the 26.2 miles.
You mean recently, as opposed to the guy we just read about in 1904? Okay.
Well, that I could live with.
Yeah.
He ate rotten apples.
No, the other guy ate rotten apples.
Oh, sorry.
The guy who they thought
This is the guy that drank the strychnine.
The guy, no. The pellet with the poisons in the vessel with the pestle. The flagon with the dragon has the brew that is true.
But what if they break the flagon with the dragon?
Well, then we have a problem.
Then the pellet with the poison is in the chalice from the palace.
Oh.
The flagon with the dragon now has the brew that is true.
Okay.
No, wait, the other one.
No, it's
whatever.
But you know what I'm saying.
Danny Kaye was a genius.
Yeah. Let's move on to our comment.
Uh-oh. Only one?
Apropos,
we must be losing your touch.
Yeah. Apropos of This Is True Really News, episode 967 from OldFatMan. What was the
known in some history books as the ancient chubster?
Ancient chubster. Ooh, I'm digging that. This was about the guys you had marching up the mountain and chewing on the mushrooms. To the point where they thought one of the guys' sandwiches had hit the floor.
Yeah. He was unalivened.
Yes, yeah, except that he wasn't.
Well, except for he wasn't even hurt.
No, there was nothing wrong with him whatsoever.
Well, except for being,
Well, you couldn't tell through the hallucinations.
Stoned out of his gourd, but other than that, sure.
Oh, OldFatMan says, everything has a time and place. Ergo, do the mushrooms at home. It's a hell of a lot cheaper.
By the way, do the mushrooms at home after the long hike.
Right?
That way, even in your brain-addled mind, in your drug-addled brain.
Brain-addled mind.
Drug-addled brain. That was just all messed up.
Yeah.
Have I had mushrooms recently?
I don't know. Do you have pizza?
If you have it at home, at least then somewhere in the back of your brain, you know that the alligator chewing on the unicorn is not real.
And you won't believe what's in the hot tub.
Generally, Princess Leia, but that's just me.
Crap. Moving on. Yuck.
That girl gets around for being. Anyway.